Wow, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining and Barbie sales are at an all-time high. Hey Barbie. Hi Barbie. What you up to?
Hey girl, I'm just putting on my glasses.
Hello, I'm getting ready for the Barbie meeting.
Oh my god girl, I completely forgot about that meeting. Barbie sales are through the roof, so I don't know why we still need a meeting, but whatever.
That's true. No other brand could ever dream about going up against us because they know that we'll get crushed.
Just like Gem and the holograms. But let's get to the meeting now. Okay.
Some time later.
Finally everyone is here. Okay, so our sales are fantastic. The best there have been in years. Let's take a look at the statistics. Okay, so as you can see, we are at all-time high. Our sales are flying through the... Wait. What is going on? Who are the brats and why are doing better than us? Someone call head of the Barbie department. Tell them to start a new girl group. We need as much reinforcement as we can get.
Meanwhile,
Hey icons, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, as you can kind of really got the hint from the title, the thumbnail and the mini intro you just saw, we're going to be discussing about how bratz completely changed the whole doll industry. But before we do begin, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to always stay updated on the dolls you love. And I just want to thank you guys for all the love and support you've been showing me. On the day this video shall be uploaded is going to be my 2-year anniversary of being in the doll community. So I just want to thank you so much and I hope you guys continue to enjoy my content. But let's get right into the video.
Passion for fashion, passion for fashion, passion for fashion.
Okay, so why don't we start with the history of bratz? So, in 1998, doll artist Carter Bryan was looking to create a new doll brand relevant to what the teenagers found trendy at the time after he seen a group of girls leaving a high school. Carter Bryan created lots of sketches of like what the girls were originally supposed to look like, and I'm going to put up a picture, but they look completely different. Like they were supposed to have like originally like Velcro on top of their heads, and then you can change the actual head, like you can like pop it off and like put a different like wig onto their head. So I think they scrapped that idea, but then they kept like the pop-off iconic doll feet. So yeah, the dolls' names were also very different. Chloe was supposed to be called Zoe, Yasmin was supposed to be called Lupe, Sasha was supposed to be called Holiday, and Jade was supposed to be called Jade. Like her name stayed the same. I'm just gonna put like a lot of the OG sketches like on the screen for you guys to see just how like different the original concept of bratz was supposed to be, and like compared to like what we have now. Moving on, sometime in the 2000s, Carter Bryan pitched the idea of the bratz to the founder and CEO of MJ Entertainment, Isaac Larian. At first, Isaac Larian wasn't too fond of the idea of like the bratz dolls. He was claiming that they look like aliens, and I find that so funny because I vividly remember as a child, one of my family members that was so obsessed with bratz, and like when I say obsessed, everything inside their room had like bratz all over it. So I remember when we used to go to her house, oh my goodness, when I tell you I was so scared because they had big lips and big eyes, and like they actually did look very weird. So like as a child, I wasn't like as a big fan. I was more of a Barbie person. But then like now that I'm growing up and like I like collect the dolls, I find them so interesting and I really like the bratz dolls. But like, let's move on. I'm getting off topic. Isaac Larian was claiming that they look like aliens, but when he showed his daughter Jasmine Larian, she fell in love with the bratz dolls and she convinced her father to make the bratz into like an official doll brand. Also, I forgot to mention, like, you know how we had the old bratz names and like the ones that we have now? The names that we have currently, they're named after like friends and family members of the Larian family. So like, how do I explain? Oh, Yasmin, her name is like obviously named after Jasmine, the daughter of Isaac Larian. But like, yeah, Sasha and Chloe, them two, I'm not sure who they're named after, but I know like one of the friends or like family members. Okay, so in May 21st, 2001, The dolls made their official debut in stores, and they were a hit in the holiday seasons of that year and many years to come. Okay, so this is pretty much like of how the Bratz started, and there are a few more details, but like just to make this section of the video a bit quicker, just cover like the main thing. But if you guys want me to do a full video on like the history of Bratz, just like comment down, let me know, and I can do that. But let's move on to Barbie.
Barbie, you're beautiful.
Barbie. Everybody knows who Barbie is. So I'm not gonna make this recap a bit too long, but because of the new movie just came out a few months ago, and there's been loads of documentaries on her, I'm just gonna make this very short and simple so we can go on to like the main topic. So the Mattel company was created in 1945 by Ruth and Elliot Handler. Ruth very often saw her daughter Barbara playing with paper dolls, while her son Kenneth had lots of options to play with boy toys. And I put boy toys in like quotations because like dolls don't have a specific like gender, like only boys can play with this, only girls can play with this. Like that's like toys are for everyone to play with. So yeah, I put it in quotations, but like at the time that's how they saw it as. Anyways, like I said before, Kenneth had lots of like different options of boy toys to play with, like guns, like horses, like just yeah. But Barbara, the only thing she had was like paper dolls and babies, like baby dolls, like that's it. Soon Ruth realized that there was a hole in the toy market, and she decided to fill that hole with a 3-dimensional doll named after her daughter. On March the 9th, 1959, at an American International Toy Fair, Barbie was revealed to the public in her iconic black and white bathing suit. Barbie was an instant success, selling out in every toy store. She was marketed as a teen model, and at the time she matched the 1950s glamour perfectly. Barbie's been trending for literally half a century now, and she has no signs of slowing down. And yeah, that's basically a little bit of the beginning of Barbie's origins. There are a lot more details of like how she got to where she is today, and there's so many scandals Miss Barbie went through. So like, if you guys want to know about that, I 100% recommend watching the documentary series on Netflix about the toys that made us. They go in so much detail and depth on like Barbie's history and like her owners and the scandals and like who she was inspired by and all of that. But let's move on to the next section of this video.
Hey Madison, what's your scene?
Okay, so like I said quite earlier on, Bratz, when they released like their first like wave 1 dolls, they were a huge success. Like I think they were selling out everywhere in multiple countries. They were selling out, and like it was just a huge hit. And like Barbie didn't realize anything was going on. Mattel didn't realize. So Mattel released a few other doll brands to compete with Bratz, but like they wasn't like doing as much damage as they thought they would do until they released My Scene. Most of you guys should know what My Scene is, but like Mattel released My Scene as like one of their last attempts as a competitor to like rival MJ's Bratz. So I think when Mattel released My Scene, they were doing pretty good. They wasn't doing that like amazing as Bratz, but like they were doing a bit like of damage. So yeah, and they released 3 characters. They used Barbie, they used Chelsea, and they had Madison. And Chelsea and Madison, they were like names after things and like places inside like New York, and then Barbie was just Barbie. But one thing many people realized the similarities between Bratz and My Scene was that My Scene, like Mattel created a whole new head mold, a whole new shoe mode for like the brand, like just the brand in general. They had bigger heads, and they had this weird thing where they had normal Barbie feet, but then they had like this, like they had like Bratz feet, but instead of the peg, you can just slide on like the doll feet onto the Barbie feet, which makes the doll feet bigger. I'm not sure if I explained that really good, but like I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But like as you can kind of clearly obviously tell, my scene ripped off Bratz. But like I don't hate my scene still. Like I'm a big fan of them. I really love their dolls. But the strange thing about this whole situation is, for some reason, even though they're literally the exact same doll made by different brands, for some reason the my Scene dolls never got as much backlash as the Bratz dolls. Like Bratz got a lot of hate. Bratz had a huge amount of backlash. Like as I was doing my research, I saw that there were so many articles, so many news reporting. Like I'm gonna put up this one scene of literally when one of the news reporters says all of this stuff to Isaac Laren's face. Wait, let me quickly put it on the screen for you guys.
I look at that Bratz doll. She's wearing, the leopard skin top. She's got the sequins. She's got the hairs. I mean, people have compared them to streetwalkers. They look a little, trashy.
They don't look trashy to me, and this is, I think, trashy is in the eyes of the adults. When we show this to the little girls, and we have done that over and over, everybody says they're beautiful. They never say they look like a streetwalker.
But yeah, people really didn't like the dolls. And the thing is, the parents that did let their children play with the Bratz dolls, they would be shamed, I guess, for letting their child play with it. But if you actually deep it, Bratz was literally one of the only dolls at their time, literally the only one that had a group of 4 girls who had different ethnicities. It wasn't just Chloe and her friends, it was Yasmin, Sasha, Jade and Chloe. All 4 of them were the main. It wasn't just Chloe, all of them were the main. And I saw this really, it was kind of sad. It just made me deep, how weird it really was, because someone was reacting to the Bratz and the backlash they had as an adult, and seeing as their point of view, and they had when they were playing with the dolls as a kid versus now. And they were saying, I'll put it up on the screen, I just can't remember off the top of my head, but they said something I appreciated how we wasn't an afterthought, because it was only white people and white representation. And then if there was black representation, it was after, or just another shade. It was literally just a white doll in just recolored to be black, or different ethnicities. So it was just really sad. And but then when Bratz came, they brought a whole new level of diversity to the table, and that was really important to a lot of people, and it let a lot of different ethnic groups of children feel represented, and they were able to relate with the character of the doll more easily, because they can see themselves as that character, or the doll or whatever. Okay, but now that we softly spoke on the controversies and how all of it started, and a little bit about my scene and what role they have in this, let's move on to the next topic. And I also recommend you should watch the old film, I think that's what the channel is called, their video on Bratz versus Barbie. They go in more detail and they explain about everything. But just to make this video shorter, we have to cut it up a bit. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so like I said, Bratz released in 2001 and it was a huge success, selling out everywhere. So Mattel's initial response was My Scene, and My Scene wasn't doing too good. It was okay, but it wasn't outbeating Bratz. So Mattel was looking for a way to take Bratz off shelves. So I'm not 100% sure if this is 100% true, so take this with a grain of salt. But what happened was Mattel got some kind of call from someone, and they were telling them that Carter Bryant was working at Mattel at the time while he was creating Bratz. And in one of Mattel's like documents you had to sign before you came into the company is that any like creations you make during like working hours is owned by Mattel. So Mattel thought that they could sue MGA and Carter Bryant because he basically created Bratz while he was working at Mattel, but sold the idea to MGA. Which after that, I'm not really understanding what happened, but what I do know is that Carter Bryant countersued for something, but I'm not sure what it was. And MGA got involved with that countersue. And then later on in the line, not too far, maybe I'll probably say a year, MGA sues Mattel for like disrupting like their doll marketing and like was stealing ideas and was like basically telling people or like other factories not to do this with MGA. So then after that, they just keep on suing each other and just claiming that my scene is stolen from Bratz, and they've been stealing ideas, and Mattel has been sending like undercover people to go to their show like business rooms and take ideas, and then Mattel was saying the same thing, but MG was doing that to Mattel, if that makes sense. Like this whole legal process was just very messy, so I'm so sorry if I didn't explain that well, but like I really tried. But yeah, after that, it's just been so messy and all of that. But then maybe like, I'm not sure what the gap was or what year it happened, but a judge sided with Mattel and was saying that they agree with Mattel, and they made MJ pay, I think, 1 million and something pounds or like dollars to Mattel in like return of damages they've caused. And then after that, Mattel and not Mattel, I keep on getting confused, MGA and Carter Bryant have just like looking for stuff and speaking to people and just trying to get their money back, because like this was like nothing to do with Mattel. Bratz was not owned by Mattel. But then in 2011, the verdict was overturned and the case went like back, and like they just looked more in detail into it, and I think this time MGA won. And I think Mattel had to pay a lot of money. I'll put how much was on the screen, how much Mattel had to pay, but I know it was a lot, and that literally caused a lot of damage to that company. And basically the judge was saying that they looked inside like the Mattel documents that allegedly Carter Bryant like broke, and they were saying that there wasn't enough detail, like there wasn't being specific, so they just gave it to MJ. And like there was just, and one funny thing I saw is they were saying that that Mattel was just jealous that Bratz was like, there's a new market of dolls that's doing better than them and that they need to grow up, which I found so hilarious. But yeah, then after, Mattel tried to reopen the case, but then the judge just like flat out denied the offer and like just denied it. But sadly, as you guys already know, the Bratz brand after this whole court case just started to decline in quality, and sales wasn't reaching as high as they thought, and decided to discontinue, I think 6 years after this whole thing ended. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm not sure if I explained everything like as much detail as I can, but like I said, I suggested a few YouTubers before. Just check out their videos that has so much detail, and like yeah, I recommend them. But let's move on to the last and final topic.
Monster High, the perfect learning environment for teen children of legendary monsters like new student Frankie Stein.
So, how did Bratz change the doll market? Well, as you know, around the time where Bratz started falling off shelves, Mattel discontinued My Scene and released their new hit line, Monster High. And if you look at the prototypes, you can tell that the dolls were originally heavily inspired by Bratz and My Scene. Just by the big eyes, the big heads, the feet, just everything about the dolls was so Bratz. And the cultural impact the Bratz dolls had on the doll market is crazy. For example, let's take a look at the brand Wild Child. You can tell that the brand is heavily inspired. And can I just say how beautiful all of the dolls are? I made a whole separate video a while ago talking about when like the heads came out, so you guys should definitely check it out if you want to see my opinion on the dolls. But yeah, I personally think the dolls are stunning, and you can tell like the huge like inspiration they have from Bratz and Monster High. And another example of the relevant Bratz have in today's society is, if you remember, not too long ago there was a challenge called like the Bratz makeup challenge, where you would try like do makeup looks as a Bratz doll, and like this was everywhere. Like all the makeup artists like in the makeup art community were doing it, and it was just such a huge thing. And till this day, Bratz dolls are still being produced by MGA. Like in 2021, when Bratz had their 20th anniversary, and like until now, Bratz dolls are having a huge hit. And there's also a speculated live action movie to compete with Barbie's live action movie on its way, so I can't wait to see when that comes out. But yeah, like the way how people dress nowadays is also heavily inspired by the Bratz dolls. Like I'll put up a few pictures from Pinterest, you can just like tell. And there's like this new aesthetic called the baddies Bratz aesthetic, or is it the Bratz baddies aesthetic? I'm not sure which way it is, but like it's just like very relevant in today's fashion society, and just the way how people are because of how they grew up with the dolls. Bratz is a huge brand that's shaped our whole society in how we dress, in how we view the world. Like it's just very uplifting. The girls with a passion for fashion started off in 2001 being inspired by a group of girls leaving the school, to now where they're literally making over billions of dollars every year. They're literally changing how people produce dolls. And one thing I'm so grateful that the girls did was add diversity literally into the doll market, because I'm pretty sure without the Bratz, we would have definitely not have all of this diversity we're seeing, all this like different hair types, skin colors, disabilities. Without the girls with the passion for fashion, we definitely would have never seen this. Okay, so this is the end of the video. So I hope you guys really enjoyed. This video took quite a while, maybe a good 2 weeks to do all the research, and I want to thank you for everyone who's been supporting me throughout everything. Like I said, this video is my 2-year anniversary, so I also want to thank Bratz for giving me all of this information. I 100% please recommend you to check out their website. lookingBratz.com is an amazing website with all the detail on Bratz. But yeah, this is the end of the video. If you guys like these kind of videos, like these deep dives, like if you want something more, just comment down and let me know, and I'll probably make more. And I am planning to start a whole new different series, but you guys will get more information on that when like it comes closer. But it's Monster Icon, and I'm out. Bye.